and welcome back to Life 100 Podcast. I am Rosie, and it's so great to share with you this bilingual space featuring insightful stories, remarkable guests, and everyday tips for life. A space in where we celebrate our diversity, our creativity, and all things that are possible when we live to the fullest by living life at 100. Today's episode is a journey to the world of possibilities when passion and purpose meet at the intersection of sustainable travel and design. Our guest, Cindy Rangel, is a fashion designer, a passionate storyteller, a community organizer, and the founder of Ella Pocketbook, in where her designs are brought into reality with our input in mind, giving us the opportunity of participating on the journey of creating a sustainable travel handbag for today's global woman. So Cindy, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you, Rosie, for having me. I'm so excited to be here and to share my story.
Your journey is so inspiring. When I see your visual progress designing this sustainable fashion like you have done in Instagram, it takes us to the world of what it's like to create these meaningful designs with us in mind. So share your journey with us.
Thanks, Rosie. I'm so privileged and honored to be on here. My name is Cindy Rangel, and I am the CEO and founder of Ella Pocketbook, a sustainable travel handbag for today's global woman. And I love that you mentioned my Instagram and my process, because Ella Pocketbook is all about the process. It is a sustainable travel accessory business for global women and women of color who travel extensively abroad and even locally by enhancing highly functional compartments with cactus fabric and ethical labor standards. I'm really honored to share this process, as you referred to, because it has been such a journey. It's been long, but I respect this process. Part of how I created this was thinking in mind of that global woman, her story and her trajectory. And so when I thought of this company, I really thought of three pillars. And those three pillars that encompass the travel bag is health and wellness, self-love and beauty, and the one that's in development stages is the fashion tech pillar. It's been such an amazing journey to come to this point as we're ready to go to production, which means we are ready to make a bag for people interested in this.
When I go to your Instagram, I see the thoughtful process of bringing forward something that we benefit with us in mind, with the things that benefit us, and not only us, but it's good for the environment. I learned that on your creation, on your developing from the beginnings, you were part of an Accelerator program back in 2016. How this influenced your design for this pocketbook for us?
Well, that program allowed me to gather more information about how to position myself as a storyteller and really capturing the process of from the beginning stages of fabric sourcing, because it wasn't a cactus fabric. And to elaborate a little bit further, cactus fabric is from the actual cactus plant in Mexico. So I'm working with partners who have manufactured fabric from the cactus plant. And so it didn't begin with cactus fabric in mind. It started with cork, but then it moved to a canvas fabric, and now I'm in the cactus fabric phase. It has its stages. I started developing that part and really gathering knowledge on how to position myself as a storyteller and as this person on this travel blog, creating this one crossbody bag. And at the end of the day, it really took me back to where it all started. And that was with myself and my family and my parents as immigrants. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background, I am the daughter of Ecuadorian immigrants who came to Chicago. My mom was 17 when she arrived to Chicago, looking for more opportunities. And so she was the true traveler and the person that really introduced me and provided the foundation and opportunity in travel. And most of my experiences were in my early childhood and before I turned 18. I had the privilege of having parents who were avid travelers and eager to show me their motherland. I was able to travel to Ecuador and Quito and meet my extended family on both sides of my parents. And that was a privilege and an adventure in and of itself. And it laid that foundation of my passion in travel, how I saw the world and how I saw myself in that world moving. I just knew this product was going to be a travel product for women. More than anything, it really began there. There are so many stories. I don't even know where to begin.
I know. And I share that with you because travel is one of my passions. My mother, and I remember since I was, I think, 9 years old, she took me with her in her travel, in her journey. She was a school teacher. So in the summer, she will go to different countries, to different continents. And I was lucky enough, I would go with her. And that was something that is so normal to me. It's part of me. It's an extension of my expression as a human being. And I love and respect the experiences. And the beauty about what you do, what you just said, and what I have learned from traveling is that we can start where we are with the resources that we have. Start very simple, and then ideas will come and you can make it possible. So based on this travel experience that you have, Cindy, how travel influenced the design of this handbag for today's global woman?
Well, I really thought of my story, but then in the end, when I was doing my research, I really turned to women that have always been traveling, like your mother, yourself, women that showed that their history was drenched in travel and encompassed the courage, the adventure, the love of travel. And so I turned to them in their focus groups, if you will, and really started asking them, what do they need? What were their ideal bags? And from there, I collected my research, and I knew that women needed to move freely, and that's part of my mission and with functionality in travel so they can accomplish their personal and professional travel endeavors. And so that's my intention and purpose, is to really provide and launch with one crossbody travel bag that's good for the environment and really good for the people. And so I started doing these live Instagram stories, and it's now turning into its own community. Also, thinking about that 80% of the global garment workforce are women of color. So really creating a win-win product.
Absolutely. I have seen your live episodes and I love them. I love them because I learned so much. Just when you think that you have a very good understanding, you learn even more. And the guests that you bring to your live, they are so knowledgeable as well. And they bring so much information, things that we didn't even imagine sometimes, and give us ideas to all the places that we can go, the experiences. It's a beautiful partnership. The same way that you are creating this, it's a beautiful partnership for our global community because the world is open for us. We just need to go and take action and enjoy it, correct?
Correct, Rosie. And I can't agree with you more where you say, you start where you are, no matter what. And that's the kind of lesson where my mom showed me. She was a mother of 4 daughters, and she took us to Ecuador. She was the true traveler and the adventurer, and she did it. And the bravery and the courage, honing in on where you could be, knowing what you have, and leveraging that knowledge is critical because we all come with a story. We all come with our ability to do things and initiate things and really move forward in what we want to do. But we begin with that one step. We travel to connect with one another, and we travel to get kind of a rejuvenation for oneself. But at the end of the day, we really love connecting with others. We can never forget that we are natural storytellers, but we also can learn from others and learn from their stories. And so I really wanted to bring this product to ease and to facilitate women who are already moving in these spaces. Create that community of safe spaces to be seen, to be heard, and then to move forward into what we really want to do. Because there's nothing like seeing someone that looks like you and watching them accomplish that. That modeling is really paramount. And so I wanted to see more of that's one of my reasons of bringing this community together, because there's nothing like bringing what you're doing on your podcast, what other women are doing with food and travel, what other women are doing with phenomenal travel stories. I really wanted to highlight that and bring that forth because I believe we've always been part of the travel narrative.
And you are doing it in such a significant way because even when you are in the process of design, the creativity that is so important, you are taking us into consideration when you ask us, what do you think about this and about that in your Instagram? So by the time that all this come to completion, we are part of the story and we are so eager to share. So I just thank you for giving us the opportunity to contribute to these beautiful designs that benefit us and many others along the way now and in the years to come. How your background influenced this creativity that you have, thinking about a concept and making it happen?
I have influence from my family, my travel trajectory, but I also had women like my aunts who were very passionate about creating things with their hands. My aunt, my mom's oldest sister, was a huge knitter and she loved making things with her hands. And when I traveled to Ecuador, the first thing that she did with me was go to the fabric store and make me a skirt. I will never forget that.
Yes, I can imagine how exciting that was.
It was a small token of her natural abilities of creation and just a welcome embrace of this is your motherland and let me create something for you with my natural abilities that really impressed upon me how we as women are creative. And so that intersection, if you will, of sustainable fashion and creating your own things from your own hands and then this travel component really merged and I really felt literally at home. I felt at home and I felt this calling that I can create something that works well for women in terms of their functionality and how they move in the world.
Talking about that, we have so much in common. Our experiences in travel. You're an avid traveler. And one of the favorite places that you mentioned you have is visiting Machu Picchu.
Yes.
How was that experience for you? Tell us all about it.
That was one of my formidable, amazing opportunities. I think it was one summer, one winter. I was 9 years old.
Yes.
I love telling this story because I had the opportunity to go with my 3 sisters. I'm one of 4, and so I have an older sister, a twin, and a youngest sister. And my parents decided that Cusco and Machu Picchu was going to be the wonder that we experience as a family. I was so taken back by this because it really brought me front and center to the sustainable travel intersection and the sustainable fashion. I was amazed. We landed in Cusco and we took the train.
The train. That's one of my favorite memories, the train.
I think the biggest impression I had was when the indigenous women were selling their hand-knit alpaca sweaters.
Yes.
And the downtown was just bustling. This downtown commerce of selling their creation. And me as a young child in this bustling travel mecca of culture, I was floored with the opportunity. I was floored with the culture and the women, the indigenous women that had what they had and went after what they needed. what they wanted for their family. And my dad was leading us through this bustling downtown. And here I am thinking, wow, this is where I feel the most like myself.
Aha.
And I was like, the identity of who I was and my ancestors and this freedom of travel. Whoa, I can do anything. Right now.
The possibilities. And it made such a great impact because you were 9 years old around that time. And I was 9 years old when my mother took me to my first trip. And it's just leaves such a memorable impression. And it helps define the person, how you approach life, how you connect with others. Because the more we travel, the better we become in understanding, connecting with the world. And bring perspective that perhaps we didn't have before. And that's your community. What it does is showing the possibilities, what is available, what is there for you to enjoy, to take, to grow, to share with others and let them know that, yes, it is possible. You can even start small and then expand, but start to travel because you never know what places you will go, right?
Yes. The beauty of travel is the gift that keeps on giving. It's such a transformative process. It gives you more of personal growth.
Yes.
There's so many takeaways that even if you're traveling local, it's this mindful process where you can go anywhere and be there in that moment and then come back and be completely different.
Completely
and be transformed.
Different. Transformed. Yes. And people say, oh, Rosie, you get so excited. I say, because you just have to experience it. You can read about it. You can watch it on TV, on the big screen. But in my opinion, there is nothing like being there at the moment. This has been a beautiful journey. So what is next for you, Cindy? I know. Congratulations on your TV segment. I am so excited. I can't wait to see it. So what is next for you?
I think that when you set intentions and you really come to a space of creativity and purpose, things start opening really quickly. And I'm thankful that I'm on this podcast with you, Rosie, because I can share my story about moving in the world. We are meant to move in the world. We're not meant to stay in one place.
Yes.
Right now, there's lots of behind the scenes. I'm going to have a TV segment in New York. Also, I'm going to apply to be part of this incubator where they're going to guide me in terms of my financials and a mentor. And I'm ready. I'm going to show up and do my best.
That's what happens when passion meets purpose and it meets opportunity. And that's what I tell people. Just take your passion, take that purpose and take the opportunities, because when the opportunity comes, like somebody told me the other day, when an opportunity comes your way, it means that you are ready, even if you believe you are not. And I remember that. And I said, that is so true, because the opportunities that are presented to me today, it didn't present 5 years ago because I wasn't ready for it. And now, even if you might think, am I ready? Yes, you are. You are ready for this. And that's what it came your way. So I am so thankful and honored that I was able to spend this time with you. And what's next? Where can we get in touch with you?
I'm at ellapocketbook.com and I'm at Instagram, Ella Pocketbook. Also, Women of Color, COLOUR in travel. And this is the message I want to share with your audience. Trust the process where you're going, no matter where you are. Sit in the process. I know it's going to sound very cliche, but trusting that process is almost like trusting yourself and knowing that you are going to do what's best for yourself right now, like you said, in the moment, for what you can do and to prepare yourself for the next moment. Because then when you come with purpose and the opportunities begin, you know that you've set your intentions and this is where you're meant to be.
This is where you meant to be. What a beautiful way To conclude this episode, I am looking forward to learn more about what you're doing, the process, going to your Instagram and travel with you in this beautiful journey that you have set for us to participate. Thank you so much, Cindy, for being with us. And I can't wait for you to come back and tell us more about your journey. Thanks again.
Gracias, Rosie. Un placer.
Ay, a la orden.
Such a pleasure.
What a great insights and information Cindy shared with us. She is a visionary who embraces opportunity and inspires us to travel the world. So until next time, thanks for listening and like, comment, subscribe on your favorite listening platform. So leave a review and you can even invite us to a cup of coffee. Just follow the link on the website or on our Instagram bio. So hasta pronto. And like I always say, life is better when we live it at 100.